Hi, this is Mary, and this is Dreamy Goat Design Studio video on dyeing with Weld. This is our second yellow in the study group focusing on yellow. The first one was the Osage Orange, which we did as a group, and this is an option you have as a second yellow. So let's take a look at the plant. And let me just tell you now that this is a beautiful spring day. I should be outside doing this, but I have such a small amount of fiber to dye that everything is going to be inside, even though today I have seen my first grosbeak, my first dove, my first yellow finch, and my first red finch. Okay, so we really should be outside, but we're here today inside. Okay, this is Weld. This is it dried, of course. It is a long, stocky plant. It is considered a weed. You can plant it easily because it spreads easily, it grows easily. So that you can dye with your own Weld, and you can dye it green, just cut up and used as is. But I've never done that. I've only purchased it and used it dried. It makes no difference. Now the thing about Weld is that it really responds to a heightened pH, where the pH becomes really alkaline. Okay, when you do that to Weld, its yellow becomes a neon yellow. Basically will burn the retinas out. Okay, your eyeballs will burn up, and that's what we want today. We don't want just a normal yellow. We want a bright, bold, glow in the dark yellow. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we know our weight of goods for Weld. If you're dyeing a pound of fiber, you will use a half a pound of the Weld, in other words 50% weight of goods. You'll soak it in some water, but you'll add dissolved soda ash to it at 3% weight of goods. That is free to calo, by the way. So if you were to stick with the example of 16 ounces or a pound of fiber, you would only use 0.48 ounces of soda ash, but you'll use it 3 times because we soak and kind of cook the Weld in with the soda ash a total of 3 times. So let's take a look. This is what soda ash looks like. Okay, it's used for washing clothes. It's used for swimming pools. For all of those of you who have swimming pools, you might know what this is. And of course it's used to alter the pH of Weld, which is never advertised for some strange reason. And this is what it looks like. Let me just kind of see if I can pull it up a little bit. This is what it looks like. There is the Weld, which is breaking down, and the water, because it is so highly alkaline, has that kind of slippery feel to it, which indicates that the pH is high. Now what do I do with it? I put the Weld and the dissolved soda ash into water, not tons of water, because you're going to do this process 3 times, each time with new water. You slowly bring it up to 170 degrees and you hold for 30 minutes. Again, a reminder that yellow can be sensitive to high heats and to shock, so bring the yellow up so it doesn't, slowly, so it doesn't turn brown. And then you decant your liquor into your dye pot. I'll do that in just a minute. And then you repeat 2 more times for a total of 3 times, and you add 3% weight of goods dissolved soda ash each time. So how do you decant it? Well, let's look. I've done it once before. This is my second time. And after this recording is over, I'll do it a 3rd time, and then I'll be ready to dye a little later today. Let's see what it looks like. Here it is. All right. Now this is my safety net. I wouldn't use just this, because if something falls through, the holes are big enough, it's just going to go right into my liquor. So I put a little bit of paper toweling over this cool colander, and then I just start to do, well, let's do it this way. I use a fine sieve. Do I want to do this? Yes, I do. Just thinking for a minute. Okay, and I just let it filter through. And I keep doing this until it is all the liquor is out. Now remember, this is the second time. So I will ultimately, and look at that, can you see the beginnings of a chartreuse yellow? If you look at the paper towel, look at how that yellow is, has a kind of a greenish chartreusey cast to it. I have a book, actually. I want to show you a color wheel out of a book that I think might clarify something. When we did Osage Orange, and here's my color wheel. It is from Deb Mentz's Color Works, which is a lovely book. The study group focuses on yellows. When we looked at Osage Orange, we were sort of moving in this area, this direction. In other words, it's a red-based yellow that you got with Osage Orange. Now we are going towards more of a blue-based yellow. It's not going to look that green, but it's going to be sort of in between this yellow and this kind of limey green, all right? And in fact, when you go to dip what will be a wonderful bright neon yellow into an indigo vat, and we can do that later in our study groups, you're going to end up with a beautiful lime green or an apple green, or what could be called a grass green. Very yellowy greens, very lovely and fresh. So I will finish this up in just a minute. I will then repeat it a second time, and at that point I'll be ready to dye. And so what will I do? Well, after my 3 decantings, I will top the dye pot up with water. I will add my fibers. I'll slowly bring up to 180 degrees, hold for 60 minutes, let cool overnight. Notice that's not that high. And then I will rinse my fibers the next day to bring the pH down to neutral. This is important. Normally I say just cure your fibers for up to a month or longer. You can always go longer, but at least 2 weeks to a month. With the Weld, because it's been in such a highly alkaline solution, you don't want it to stay that high. You want to get that pH down to a more neutral 7. So go ahead and rinse your fibers out the next day, and then go ahead and air cure them, okay? All right, tomorrow you will see my little tiny amount that I'm dyeing today. You'll see the results tomorrow, and you will see a whole bunch of other welds that I have been dyeing in the last month. I've got quite a batch to show you. We will see what fun Weld can give us. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.